We are talking the latest Detroit Lions news and rumors for you folks today. A little to cover here on the injury front. We got some good news from one of our players. We're going to talk about that. NFL Insider talks about Ben Johnson's future. An interesting future right there. And we're going to get into the Detroit Lions as they are Super Bowl favorites. We're enjoying this bye week on this Friday. Let's begin. Me a big solid here and smash that like button. That would be great. Let's get to 300 likes. Chat Sports, they asked, can you get to 300 likes today? And I'm like, well, possibly, but I'd have to ask you guys. Smash that like button. It truly does help out, folks. We're going to get into some news, and we got some good news. We're going to start with the injury front here, and Ennis Rakestraw has started his 21-day evaluation window to get back on the field after dealing with his injury, and this is huge. As we know, Carlton Davis looks like he's not coming back this year, and he was a big piece of this defense. We've had a lot of injuries, right, throughout this defense. Corner with Terrion Arnold going down, but he should be back for the divisional game, so having Ennis Rakestraw back is really important. Again, drafted this guy in the second round. Fully expected to use him by this time of the season. You know, when we got Carlton Davis, there's a reason why he was traded. He was an injury-prone player from Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I love him. I love what he brings. But we needed to get another cornerback, and we decided to double up and go in round two. Ennis Rakestraw, a very good cornerback. So I'm really excited for him to be on the field. Now, look, when he gets on the field, he may get burnt a couple times. He's still a rookie. He hasn't been on the field as much as a Terrion Arnold or some other players because of the injuries that he sustained. But make no mistake about it, you want Arnold out there more than you want Vildor. That is just a truth. So having an Ennis Rakestraw out there, you'll have Brian Branch out there. We've seen what Amik Robertson can do. It does help out. So every cornerback helps for sure. Again, Chat Sports asked me to get to 3 of the likes, so I ask you guys to smash that like button. It really does help out. That's just how usually the things go, and we love it here. Folks, I want to talk to you about the sponsor of today's video, and that is GameTime. They have killer deals, last-minute tickets, and lowest prices guaranteed. Folks, also, they have a new feature. It's called GameTime Picks, and what it does, it filters out all the fluff to give the best deals, so you're not spending hours on a bunch of different ticketing sites trying to get the best tickets for seats. And I tell you what, you can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. In the middle screenshot, by the way, I think it's a fantastic feature of the app, and it shows you where your seat is. And if you move your phone left to right, you can see the surrounding area kind of like a 3D live photo. So how do you get this? How do you get these deals? How do you get GameTime? Well, you go to GameTime and you look in a 3D view. Select the GameTime Picks button on top of the screen and automatically does the research for you. And it filters out all the tickets in the database, give you the best deals and seats, so you're not spending hours in a bunch of different ticketing sites trying to get the best tickets. Also, all pricing is right there for you. There's no hidden fees at checkout. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime today. Do you want a quick deal? Then go to GameTime, put in Chat Sports, and you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Again, you go to the redeem code section, you plug in Chat Sports, you get $20 off your first purchase. Lions are facing a team we don't know in the divisional round about a week. So you're going to want to go to GameTime and go to GameTime Picks to get those deals. You can find the information in the comment section and description of this video. So if you're buying Lions tickets this year, make sure you're using GameTime. Folks, download GameTime today. It's last-minute tickets and lowest prices guaranteed. And let's get back to this news. So we've talked about Aaron Glenn, and I've talked to you about how I truly do believe that the Detroit Lions are going to lose Aaron Glenn as a coordinator. I think he is going to be gone. I think there's too many teams that like Aaron Glenn, and specifically the New Orleans Saints. That's the biggest reason why I truly do believe this. But what about Ben Johnson? You think that Ben Johnson is going to be the guy that will get a job, right? We've been hearing about it all time. But we noticed that Ben Johnson, the last couple of years, he hasn't taken a job. And Ben Fowler from ESPN has this to say. He says, some people that I have talked to in the league believe that Johnson could return to Detroit. And it doesn't seem like a leverage play, Fowler said. That's where he has been the past 2 cycles, and that could be a case again if his ideal head coaching destination isn't there. And to bring this to the point, this is what Ben Johnson said when he came back this past offseason. I'm not going to do it just to do it. I love what I'm doing right now. Love it. I love it. I love where I'm at. My family loves where I'm at, Johnson says. Love the people that we're dealing with. So I'm not willing to just go down to another path yet unless I feel really good how it's going to unfold. And that's 100% correct. This is how he has been. This is how Ben Johnson has been. He will not take a job unless it is good for him. Now, remember, he gets paid pretty good money being an offensive coordinator, right? He got a pay upgrade. And Ben Johnson is an individual that loves this area. Now, I was told last year, even if he did phenomenal, even if we got to a Super Bowl, that he could stay there because he really loves Detroit. This is not a ploy. This is not BS. He really loves Detroit. He loves the area. He loves Dan Campbell, loves the coaching staff. He loves the situation where he's in. And he gets paid good. He loves it. He's regarded highly, so he may want to stay, right? He legit may want to stay. So that could be phenomenal news for the Lions. And again, I don't think he just goes to other teams. And I'm going to talk to you a second right why that's the case. Again, let's get to 300 likes. It does help out. That's what Chat Sports asked to do. Why do I think this is legitimate? Why? Well, look at the other teams that is available, right? And he's got, I think it was 4 requests. Chicago Bears is one of those. Could you see a situation where he wants to be the head coach of there? A place where coaches literally get fired after a year or two, okay? So that's not a good situation. It's not. There's a lot of veterans there, and Ben Johnson wants to be personnel. And you got to deal with the rest of the NFC North. It doesn't seem like that's the situation. The New York Jets, I don't see him going there at all. Terrible situation, okay? The Dallas Cowboys, that's not going to happen. Jarrett is in charge. The only real option that I could see, and I guess you could look at the Vegas Raiders. 2 situations here. Vegas Raiders, where potentially he could get autonomy, right? And he's going to have a high draft pick. And Jacksonville Jaguars, because of the high draft pick, and you have a quarterback set in place, but their GM Belky is still there. So there could be a 110% situation where Ben Johnson says, no, I'm staying. I'm staying in place. And that is legitimately what could happen. Let's get into the next news here, really, folks. And we're going to talk about the odds of winning the Super Bowl. Now, that's not the odds right there. The odds came out, and Detroit Lions are plus 350, the number 1 odds, folks, to win the Super Bowl and to win it all. Now, as you know, we were ripped on for the longest time by many people in the media saying the Lions were going to get it done. We had people saying, the Green Bay Packers. You got still Pete Prisco saying it's the Green Bay Packers. But I do got to give Pete a little bit of credit here. I rip on him a lot. He started that with his prediction, and even though he doesn't believe they're going to win, he's keeping that prediction just because of that. With that said, there's doubters, right? We've known that. Yet the Lions are back on top at number 1. Ever since we lost that game in Tampa, week 2, I told you, and I was on the air on ESPN radio, I was making videos, I was talking on like all the channels, on Woodward Sports. Anytime I was asked, I said, Lions are my favorite to win the Super Bowl. I still believe they're the best team in football. It hasn't changed from then. We lost to the Bills. And I said, all we got to do is wait for reinforcements. I said, once Alex Anzalone comes back, we are golden. Well, at least we're going in the right direction. Alex Anzalone comes back. We beat Minnesota 31-9. Now everybody's on the bandwagon again as the Detroit Lions to be favorites to win the Super Bowl with the number 1 seed, home field advantage. Folks, you need to stick with your team. Never give up. Never disbelieve. Even when the Lions lost 2 games, 15-2, people are jumping off the bandwagon. Don't do it, folks. We got 2 games to a Super Bowl. That's why we're favorite to win it. 2 games to a Super Bowl. In the comments, just put the number 2. 2. We're 2 away from a Super Bowl, and we get to relax this weekend and watch the game. 2 in the comments below. And you look around, again, we got Ennis coming back. We have Montgomery coming back. Even though, and Zeitler is fine, and same with Terry and Arnold, they'll be good to go. The Lions are not fully healthy, but we're getting healthier, and we have plenty enough talent right now. Right now, we have plenty enough talent to win the Super Bowl. Hell, I'm gonna do another quick question. I'm not even part of this because I'm just talking. Do you believe that this team right now, offense, defense, special teams, is better than last year's team? Why for yes and for no? That was just completely done. And I'm going to tell you why we are. Our offense is the number 1 scoring offense in football. It's better than last year. Our offensive line is better than last year. Our wide receivers are better than last year. Sam Laporte is the same. Yeah, he put up bigger numbers last year. It's because we have a full plethora of talent on offense. Jahmyr Gibbs, everybody. There's only so many touches you can go around. Our defense is better than last year's. Yes, it is beaten up. Our linebackers with Jack Campbell, Trevor Nowaski, Alex Anzalone is better than last year's linebacking core, even though we had Derek Barnes. Why do I say this? Because they're playing better. They're playing better. Not the talent. You have Jack Campbell in year 2. He's playing better, right? You have Alex Anzalone playing at a really high level. That's why I say this. The DBs are better than last year's. We had Vildor on the outside. That didn't work out so well, right? Like, we had Cam Sutton out there. We're better this year, even though right now we have Amik, Terry and Arnold, and Ennis that we're going to be relying on, and Vildor. I still think you got Brian Branch out there, Ifutu Melifonwu, and you got Kirby Joseph. I think the team is better. The special teams, we have a better kicker in Jake Bates. Our punter's still good. This team can win the Super Bowl. It can win it all. Folks, in the comments, let me know your thoughts. With that said, adios.